Hello everyone, welcome to Basically Neda Reads. I'm Neda, and this is my January wrap-up. In the month of January, I finished 4 books. 3 of them were 3-star rated, and 1 was 4-star rated. The first book that I finished in January was Spider Touched by Alex Thompson. This is a grimdark fantasy where the people are ruled by these beings called Keta. The Keta wear robes and they cover their faces because they don't want people to see their faces because they're kind of deformed. And they don't speak. They use touch language, which is basically using their fingers to tap on other people's palms, and that's how they speak to other people. They also have magic, and some of them are alchemists. The story is told to us in the narrative of the main character, who is a translator for these Keta. His name is Razvan, and he is basically the person that we are following. The story begins when there is talks of war breaking with another nation, and there are revolutionary people who are about to start a revolution, basically. I enjoyed this book very much. This was my 4-star rated book. I also have a review for it that not many people watched. If you want to see it, go and check it out. Most of my thoughts are in that one. And yeah, this was the first one. I enjoyed it the most. And then the second book that I read this month was By Gaslight by Stephen Price. This was my Canadian book of the month that I read. It is a historical fiction mystery thriller novel. It is viewed by, it has multiple point of views, and the story is taking place in London, 1885. A woman's body is found washed up at the shore. A man is haunted by his past love. A son of a detective goes to try to solve one of his father's unsolved cases. So this was interesting. Those are the elements that starts the story, but I found that it was lingering too much on the characters and not on the plot, and I wanted more of the plot to go faster and us to get to the mystery. And yeah, that's the only reason why I put it at the 3-star rating. It was a good, very well written book. It just wasn't my taste in that way, but it was a good, I enjoyed it. And then the third book that I finished was Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb. It's a fantasy romance story about a girl whose family were dragon riders, and her name is Arcady. She goes to steal a amulet and accidentally opens a portal to the dragon world. In this world, the dragons are separated from the magical, their world. There's a rift between them, and the dragons are not allowed back into their world. I'm not saying this very well, but I'm pretty sure everybody have heard about this, so I'm just gonna keep going. So she ends up opening the portal, the wall, basically, and a prince dragon comes through named Everin. I think that's how you say it. And then she has bonded with him accidentally. He is trying to find her, and she is trying to deal with her magic. That's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil this story. It was alright. It was interesting. It was a light read. I gave it a 3-star rating because there was too much sulking and, the brooding and the sulking and all that stuff and the usual things that are in a romance book. So, yeah, that was the 3rd book that I finished. And then the 4th book that I finished was The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. This is the story of 2 different characters. We have one boy who has grown up in a library, trapped in the library in his whole life. And then there's a girl who grew up in a small settlement that nobody goes to. And their stories collide. And then, it is basically a book within a book, story within a story. And there's repetition of each thing. And it's kind of like Groundhog's Day. If you ever watched that movie or whatever, that he keeps waking up and doing the same thing every day. So it's kind of like that. I don't like repetition. The idea of this book was very interesting. I just didn't like the repetition part. It's very well written. I'm not saying that it was badly written. It's just my preference. It was good. It was entertaining. And I gave it a 3-star because it was just too much repetition for me, and I just didn't like that part. That's it. And yeah, those were all the 4 books that I read in the month of January. And yeah, I'm also still reading The Warrior, but I will talk about that in February because I'm halfway through and I haven't finished it. So yeah. And those were the books that I read in January. If you have read any of them and you want to talk about them, please comment down below. Let me know if you read them, what you thought about them, all that stuff. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.